Hey there, folks. Welcome to the next edition of Wrench, Ride, and Repeat. Today we're going to be installing a 33 tooth pulley on gray. We're going to talk about transmission seals, transmission spacer, and the new pulley setup. If you the first time you're to your channel, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and we get more people out there and see the channel. So stick around. We're going to get this pulley installed, and we'll be off to try and take the next steps to finish this bike swap saga. This has been taking way too long, even for my taste. So let's get this going, and we can get on to the next step. And hopefully, we get Gray done here in a week or so, and then we'll be done, and we can move on to Rusty or the Sportster, or helping friends fix their bikes. So stick around. Here we go. Okay, so we're over here at the workbench. Excuse the rest of the mess. I always have a couple things going on here. So let's start with the inner primary and the inner primary seals. Change your starter jack shaft seal up here. And for this, we went from the original version. You don't need the seal right now. But this was the race and bearing that went. This one on the transmission shaft. This one in here. And that was your two-piece bearing. I did an upgrade from Jim's, and I put a single bearing in there. You can see how the diameter's the same, but it's all one bearing. It's not two-piece. Okay. And then it came with seals, so we put all that stuff in there. It's lock ringed in there. It looks good. Okay, so this was our stock setup. This is your transmission main shaft. This is the big seal for your transmission. So that guy went on there like that. Okay, so you had this. This was coming out of your transmission. So we stripped that out. Okay, so we replaced it with this. Okay, that all works good, right? This is still the transmission seal, and it works with the stock spacer. Okay, so this is what spaces out your pulley, and also is what this seals around here. Okay, so then we have this, but we don't need that. And this came with another inner seal. I can't seem to find it here, but there's another seal that goes in the transmission that will cover that. Okay, so this is all still the same. This is all the same. This is coming out of the transmission. We're good, right? So all the stock stuff worked, and this is your stock spacer. So what I did was I upgraded to a 33 tooth pulley from the stock 32 tooth. Sorry, I should have had this ready. This is a new 33 from Belt Drivers Limited. It's a lot lighter, right? It's aluminum, not steel, and comes out real nice. Came with the locking tab kit and everything else, so it looks really good. I can't wait to get it on. But I went to put it on with the stock seal, and I had no threads sticking out. So what I did was I went through the kit that came with it, and I'm like, lo and behold, not only did they send a seal, but they sent a shorter spacer. Okay, so same inner diameter, different outer diameter, so you need a different seal. This one won't fit here, and this one is too loose. So now we have a shorter spacer, thinner, and the right seal. That will allow me to space this pulley out properly and still have my thread showing to be able to bolt everything down. When I put this on with the stock spacer, I didn't have any threads, and I was at a loss as to what was going on there. So we figured this all out. We're good to go. All that stock stuff can go home. And now we're going to use this new spacer and the new O-ring that came with it and put the pulley on. And hopefully the 33 tooth pulley is supposed to give us about 500 RPMs at highway speeds. And seeing how everybody does 80 miles an hour now, it's good to be able to keep up some pace. So let's move over to the bike. Okay, so we're over here at the bike now. Before we even get into the pulley and that seal and the spacer and everything, I just want to point out this is 1989 FLH. All right, and it has a quad seal here. That's just a little rubber band O-ring sort of thing. It has a regular seal here with a metal ring case on it right here. And then, of course, we have the main seal, which is this big jobber right here. Okay? So I got my brass drift rod here, and I'm just going to tap that guy in until he sits in there nice and even. Oops, see, they pop right out. And you really can't just, push them in by hand. So, all right, get that guy started. Let's see if we can get him tapped in here. If you ever find one of these drift rods at a swap meet like I did, pick them up, no matter how much they are. It'll save your bacon on more than one thing. Okay, let's check that. All right, and run your finger around the lip. And yeah, so I have an inner lip here, and that all feels good the whole way around. And now we're going to take the spacer. Okay, so we get the spacer here. I'm just going to oil it up a little bit. And we're going to put the beveled side in. Okay, so the flat side is sitting on the flat side of our pulley. So let me get just a spot of oil on here. Just a little dab. All right. Oil that guy up just a little bit. Make sure I got my bevel right. And that goes on and covers up that little quad seal I was telling you about. So this guy should just pop right in there just like that. That's beautiful. Okay, so far we have our little seal, our quad seal behind this, our big seal, and the metal seal from the transmission. All right. Things are moving along swimmingly. Okay, so what you don't want to do is forget to put your belt back out before you put your pulley on. Clean that pulley up a little bit. Okay, so let's see if we can get this sucker on here, huh? Get your belt on. Everybody play nice. You should go right on here, and bam. There we go. All right, let me get you a close-up in there on that. See, this is what I was missing before when I didn't put the spacer that came with this kit in here. It was out here. My brother, who's a machinist, came down and took a look for me, and we measured some stuff out. And then I found the spacer, and we measured that. And he said, well, that's great because that's as much as we were going to take off that spacer anyway. So it was in the kit. I just didn't see it. All right, so let's go and get our new nut and locking plate. All right, so moving on, we have our nut. We have our lock spacer, lock ring, and here we go. So I got to get that on there a little bit. There we go. I had no thread showing. So we'll just set that on there for now. Remember, this is a reverse thread, and I am going to put some Loctite on this before I forget. Just a couple drops around. There we go. That should do really nice. All right, thread this guy on here. The threads are very thin, so you just kind of got to get it started there. So let's get this spacer up and out of the way a little bit. All right, it says hand tight. All right, so that's hand tight. And now we're waiting for Bob to come over. He's got to stand on the brake while I set this to torque. So we'll be right back. So there's finger tight. I took the lock ring off. That was kind of dumb. We don't need that until we're done torquing this all on. And then this goes on. And then we have to line up the bolt holes. Ooh, I'm sorry. Then we have to line the bolt holes to get the lock ring to stay. As you can see, though, it tracks real well. I mean, it's on there really nice. No problems, no squeaks, nothing like that. So we're going to get this thing torqued down. All right, so Bob's here. We're going to torque this thing down. Got my special tool to tighten that nut down and set the torque wrench to off, even though it's on because it's a backwards. And it's set to 160 foot-pounds. Torque spec is 150 to 165. So I'm going to be standing on this thing to try and get it to go. I needed Bob here to stand on the brake. I tensioned the belt, and he's going to stand on the brake. That'll keep the transmission from spinning, hopefully, and we can get this thing torqued down. Here we go. All right. That should do. Yeah, that'll do. You ready? Oh, crap. You're doing good. I need to come down just a little. Did it spin?
Yep.
You know what? We'll set it down. Let me find a ratchet here. Just enough to get that back wheel on the deck. I think that's good. We're still tight. Okay. All right, let me adjust this. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to loosen the straps up. All right, let's try now. Oh, there's 160 foot-pounds. All right, folks, we got her on. Pull our tool off. All right, but we're not done yet. So we need to put this lock ring on here. And it needs to line up with the bolt holes and fit over the nut. And we're a little off there, so we're going to try and turn this sucker around a little bit. I can't get in there to pull it with damn gloves. So our bolt holes aren't lining up. I mean, I don't know if this would be the same everywhere. Well, you know, all the way around. Come on. Am I gonna get lucky? No. All right. All right, so we got it torqued down. We got it lined up. Now let's see if our set screws will work. I'm just gonna try and run one in before we put Loctite on it. And no, these don't have factory Loctite. Oh, too big. Let's see if our holes align properly. Oh. Well, we know that part will work. All right, like a dream. Right in. There's one. And yeah, I believe that's right. Okay, they both run right in. We can take this spacer off. And we'll pull them out and Loctite them. All right. Little blue Loctite. A little bit more. There we go. All right. Get these. And then we're going to check torque value on these. I think they're like 15 to 20 foot-pounds. But let's verify. All right, so now we're set. We're gonna tighten these down to torque, and it was 100 and what did I say? 108. What's that book say over there? On the top of the right page.
84 to 108.
84 to 108 inch-pounds. Okay, so we took half of that. That was 12, and then we added that. That came to 90, 94, 96. And then 96, we divided that by 12 for foot-pounds, and here we are, 8 foot-pounds. So let's get these guys done. There's one. Come on. There's 2. All right, so everybody's buttoned down. Let me set my torque wrench down. So there it is. Are we still on the table? Yeah, let's get up off the table. We'll spin the wheel, make sure everything glides right. Yep, nope, that's the wrong way. That'll do it. Yeah, nice and solid, right? Everybody spins. It's tracking real well. It's right in the middle of the pulley where it's supposed to be this way, all right? So it's not rubbing on this edge and it's not rubbing back here. So after a few turns, turn it a bunch. Check that tracking and it's staying right where it was. So we have the belt tensioned. We got, all we have to do is lock down the axle, and that's it. Pulley on. All right, so we have it now. It's the pulley's on. It's all torqued down. We're ready to go. So until next time, thanks for watching. This has been Wrench Ride Repeat. Stick around next week. We're going to install the inner primary and line all that up, torque the engine bolts down. That should be a good video. Hope to see you there.